Hello and welcome. My name's Adam Flint. I'm one half of Flint Flint. And here we're introducing the products, the history of the products. I'm going to introduce you to Laura, who's our scientist who formulated the products. And this video is here to give you all the information you need to be able to address your clients' concerns, their questions, and their opportunities and future expectations of the product. Now, before I hand you over to Laura and let her explain how the formulations came about, let me just explain a little bit about the brand and how it came to fruition. Maxine and I have been working in this industry for over 20 years, and we have sold products all over the world. We have used the products in our own clinics. We have treated customers with terrible skin conditions, acne, rosacea, skin pigmentation. And what we have found is, overall, the products tend to be a little bit on the high side, a little bit expensive. They're not particularly well packaged, and they tend to have a range that's quite expansive and quite complicated. So when we started this journey around 3 years ago, Maxine and I were looking for simplicity, something that was affordable, that was something that we would like to buy ourselves, that was really well presented, and ultimately that worked. There's one thing wanting a new product range, and there's another actually bringing it to the table. So I went off and looked overseas, looked at the Far East, looked at Europe, looked at America, and came home really empty-handed on each occasion. And the reasons for this is the product and the formulators weren't particularly special. The quality of the ingredients wasn't overly great, and they were going to end up expensive, being an imported product that would either be air freighted or sat on a ship for some period of time. Big problem with doing overseas products is you're never really in control of things like the packaging, the design, or most ultimately, the product itself. So it was amazing really to come back feeling that I hadn't been successful, to look down from the aeroplane and see Great Britain, see England in its glory, and think to myself, maybe now is the time to look closer to home. So looking at England in the UK is a great thing, but it's not exactly a small country. It might seem it to people overseas. You know, we've got some 55 million people that live here. There's 500-600 miles end to end, and pretty much I did quite a lot of those miles, a couple of thousand miles in total, looking for, first and foremost, the right manufacturer to manufacture these products to our brief here in the UK. That was the #1 priority. And thankfully for us, we found everything we wanted with one manufacturer just 50 miles from our head office. Then we started looking for the design team to focus on the logo, the packaging. We found the right printer, we found the right artist, and we found the right copywriter. And now that we look back, they were all within 50 miles of the head office. The upshot of this is we're able to have much closer ties, closer knit ties with our suppliers, which allow us to have better quality control, really brings a superb product to market at the right price, which allows us to keep the cost down so the consumers enjoy a quality product at the right price time and time again. No matter how much clinical testing had been done on the active ingredients within the products, or the clinical studies that had been done as part of those studies, those tests, ultimately one person had to be satisfied, and that was Maxine. So if Maxine wasn't happy, we were going to go no further with this product range. Fortunately, after all Maxine's testing, she was very happy. I trust that provides you with a little history on the product and who the company are and how we went about formulating the products. I'd now like to introduce you to the award-winning cosmetic scientist who formulated the Flint Flint range, Laura Kirkbride. Welcome, Laura. Thought we could start by you giving us some background to your history and the formulation brief behind Flint Flint.
Firstly, I'd like to say it was a real honour to work with two people who were so passionately dedicated about what they wanted to achieve from this range. They had a clear end goal of the way that the product should perform, but in doing so were able to give me a completely clear brief, a wide open brief, for me to use my 14 years experience formulating cosmetic products to select the ingredients I felt were best going to deliver the benefits that each product had to deliver for the ultimate goal of visible results and skin health benefits.
That's great, Laura. Can you tell us how you approached the brief?
Yes, certainly. It was really important to have some founding principles from which all of the formulations could be developed from. I'm a strong believer in using ingredients that work with the skin, that the skin recognises, either because we've been using these ingredients for centuries and centuries, or because the skin produces them naturally within its own cell metabolism, rather than to go for maybe the latest trend ingredients that the skin won't as easily recognise and therefore won't work as well with. Secondly, it was really important to look at any sensitisers that the skin might have. For example, fragrance and then preservative are the two main causes of sensitive skin in individuals. We can all become sensitive to these ingredients at any time. So on that basis, it was important to keep the fragrance very minimal within the formulations. You might ask why we haven't gone fragrance-free. Well, whilst the products want to be as minimally fragranced as possible, to go fragrance-free, there's a lot of active ingredients in these formulations that can have quite strong odours associated with them. To use a product properly, it's got to deliver both on its integrity formulation-wise and efficacy-wise, but it also has to be a pleasant experience. None of us are going to use a formulation for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it takes for the active ingredient to deliver its optimum benefits if we don't like the experience of using the product. So on that basis, we have fragranced the range, but very minimally, using a core of rose and jasmine. Rose and jasmine are very traditional ingredients that are used in many of the fine fragrances that we all would choose to wear. So these are ingredients that we already know, whether we know them or not. So it gave a very nice core base that the majority of the population would be able to wear comfortably. So then moving on to preservative. Preservatives are essentially important within the formulations to ensure the safe use throughout their lifetime. However, we have gone for paraben-free systems. Systems we have used, typically used in more natural and more organic formulations for their very mild benefits and less skin sensitising than the likes of some of the other preservatives available. And then finally, we've gone for sulfate-free within the cleansing systems. Again, because this is the sulfate-free formulations are more gentle to the skin. Sulfates are fine for the body. They produce a great foam, a great lather, but on the skin, I find them to be too skin stripping, can actually then cause an overproduction of sebum and lead to some of the skin problems that the clients will be seeing. Hence, we've gone for sulfate-free where appropriate. Adam and Maxine had identified that the skincare market can seem very confusing to the average consumer. There's so many different products targeting so many different things that it can be difficult for a consumer to identify what they need. So to that end, it was really important that the product regime itself was kept compact and simple to understand. The complexity comes within the formulations, within the ingredients we've selected, but the product regime can be clearly split into 4 areas to deliver the skin health benefits that we all need. Put simply, it's cleansing, treating, moisturising and protecting. So within each of those 4 categories and a basic regime that an individual would need, we have a choice of cleansers in the everyday wash and the glycolic. We have treatment products ranging from an exfoliator, a serum, lip hero and an eye hero. Moisturisers, there's a lighter moisturiser and a moisturiser X3 to suit different skin types and different needs. And to protect, we have an SPF primer. So to summarise, the complexity within Flint plus Flint isn't within the product regime, it's within the formulations themselves. These formulations are very concentrated, and as such you don't need to use a large amount of the product on the skin. To use these products correctly, they need to be used sparingly to deliver the best results. And it then really is as simple as cleanse, treat, moisturise and protect. I hope you enjoy clicking into the individual products to give you a bit more information on the complexity of the ingredients and the simplicity of the regime that each of these products delivers. Each product video will give you 2 layers of information. The first layer is everything that you need to know to be able to pass on to your client, to be able to tell your client, to give them information but not overcomplicate the formulations that you're presenting to them. The second level of information is for your own knowledge, for you to be able to answer any more in detailed specific questions your clients may have about the product regime.